You know when I'm holding the box, it's already good news. Hit that intro. So big announcement for the channel. From now on, we're shooting on the a7 III. I'm gonna retire the a6100, which is a crop sensor camera, and I'm gonna retire this to my top-down angle for when I do inside this studio A-roll. I'm gonna try to get out of the studio a lot more than normal, because one, it's freezing in here, and then two, I'm trying to build this place up so when I come back, it'll be perfect for you guys out there. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys if this camera is worth it in 2021 and 2022. In my opinion, it totally is. There's an a7 IV out now, and there's also an a7S III, but those cameras also cost either $500 more or, you know, $2,000 more. This camera I got on an Amazon Prime deal for about $17.99. with a lens that I already had. I've been collecting my Tamron lenses. My third-party lenses are very sharp and they're very quick to focus. And honestly, I have no complaints about the third-party Tamron lenses. They're amazing. Like eventually I'll get a Sony G Master, but you know, right now I'm trying to make money back from my clients. I don't want to invest too much without getting that much return on investment. You know, I gotta really slowly upgrade. This camera is future-proof. I think this camera will be good for maybe 2-3 more years in this field, because you know, technology is evolving so fast. Like we're getting 8K, 6K, 7K cameras. Even my GoPro back there is a 5.2K camera. The Sony a7 III, in my opinion, is future-proof. You got the 4K 30p, 4K 24p. Now, I don't think you're gonna need to get 4K slow motion yet, especially if you're using for YouTube or weddings. Now, you can get a great image right out of camera for the Sony a7 III, in my opinion, because it has those modes. It has S-Log 1, 2, 3. It has 693 face detection points, so that's more than enough to work with, especially for YouTube and client shoot. This camera does both photo and video at a high level, in my opinion. Now, if you don't have a gimbal, the Sony a6100 is very hard to get cinematic shots. Now, the Sony a7 III, on the other hand, has 5-axis stabilization like the a7 IV, like the a7S III, like the a7R III. They all have great in-body stabilization. Now, your lens also has to have it, but when your camera has it on the inside, you get a much more steady shot, which makes you look more professional in the end game. If you really look at it, you really want a stable shot. You don't want to have to do so much in post. And that's what I had to do a lot with this camera, which is why I kind of recommend starting here, because you get to learn how to do all that stuff in post and then upgrading to the a7 III. But if you're trying to skip that step and just, you know, work on saving your time, a7 III is the way to go. Another advantage that the Sony a7 III has over the a6100 is the battery. The Z batteries, I've had this battery in for about 40 minutes and it really hasn't even dropped more than 15%. Now, these batteries die so fast. These are the smaller batteries, but I got the third-party ones in, if you can even see it here. Got a couple third-party batteries going for this, but they're cheap. And you know what? It's not that bad, but the Z batteries blows it out of the water. You only need 2 Z batteries for the entire day, as opposed to maybe 4 or 5 of these batteries on the Sony a6100. Now, a positive about both of these cameras is that the files that come out of here are very easy to edit. So I hope that video really helped you in terms of buying or not buying the a7 III or getting the Sony a6100. Now, the Sony a6100 is what I've been shooting on for the past 2.5 years. However, I feel like as a shooter, as someone who's trying to get into video, I should go from phone to this to the full frame camera, because it just helps you learn. And I think that if you're looking to choose between this and this, if you're a beginner, I recommend this camera. And if you're somebody who's trying to take this more than just a hobby, maybe try to get a job out of this, or just wants to get a following on social media, this provides way more quality. Now, if you have any questions about either the Sony a6100 or the Sony a7 III, I'll be doing a more detailed review on the Sony a7 III in the future. And all my projects are going to be shot on this camera in the future as well. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me since the beginning. Almost at 100,000 views overall throughout my entire channel. Started from the cell phone, worked my way up to this camera, included drones and stuff like that on the way there, and now the Sony a7 III. Many videos to come in the future. Like, I am so grateful and so humbled to be able to share the camera and my ideas with you, what I got going on in my brain. I'm just super excited to bring some cinematics to you guys, and maybe even some inspiration to whoever needs it out there. So it's your boy Kip Jackson. Till next time, see you guys Tuesday. Peace. Now, some of the biggest positives on shooting on this Sony camera are just the ability to edit the footage afterwards in post, and basically all the stuff it says on the box. No, I'm kidding.